Hey there guys, welcome back to Stanley Chess, or if it's your first time here, then welcome. Glad to have you. Hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy the content and maybe even choose to, hit that little subscribe button if you're feeling like it. Sorry for the delay in videos. I know it's been a few weeks. I just went through a whole moving process. And now I've got my setup ready. I've got my blanket over the window because the apartment didn't come with blinds, and we're ready to go. So I played a blitz game this morning. I'm about 1600 blitz on chess.com, 3-minute here, and no increment. I'm playing with the black pieces, and I end up taking basically all of my opponent's pieces by the end, to the point where he rage quit. Instead of resigning, just let his clock run out. So let's hop into it here. We have e4 from my opponent. I go ahead and play the trusty Carl Kant. And here we go. He pushes. So this is kind of a weird delayed advanced variation, where normally white would play d4 in the Caro and then play the advanced here. But he plays it this way. It's a bit strange, but that d pawn is going to d4 no matter what. So here we are. I go ahead and play e6, get this light squared triangle going on with my bishop outside of the pawn chain. And then we have, c3, not the best move, because yes, it does create a nice, pretty pawn chain, but the knight may have wanted to go to that square, and the c pawn may want to go to c4. But hey, c3 is not terrible. I bring out my knight to d7, and we have bishop d3, 97 castles, pretty standard so far. Now you see me expand c5 here. This I like to do, in two moves, right? Because in the Caro, you're playing c6 first to get, prepare this pawn push to d5. And then it's very common to push that pawn to c5 later, try and, add some pressure and control over the center. So the knight jumps in, and this is the worst move that you could possibly play in the position. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think this is literally the worst move that you could play. And he played it. I know I didn't set it up for any dramatic reveal or anything, mostly because I forgot that this is where the move happened, but we're going to pretend that I led up to it. The knight jumps out to g5. What? This does nothing. Literally nothing. It doesn't even attack the h7 pawn because it's defended. Well, I guess it would. If the queen wasn't hanging. Like if I just did nothing, right? Then I think, yeah, here you could obviously take the bishop, but the threat is like trying to get in here. But that just doesn't work at all. First of all, the queen is still hanging, but let's say I don't take it, right? It's just, I don't even know what to make of it. I can't even give you hypothetical situations of why this would work or not, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The knight jumps out to g5, fully hangs the queen. Just in one move, the queen is gone. Poof. Bye-bye. See you later. I won't see you later, queen, actually. Yeah. He doesn't get another one, so we will not be seeing that queen later. The bishop came out to g4 to pin the knight to the queen, right? It went out to pin the knight. And then, like 4 moves later, that knight says, pin? Never heard of her. Get out of here. I'm getting out of here. Hanging my queen. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, the queen's gone. So he recaptures with the rook. This is the second time the rook has moved in the game. First time was when the king castled, and second time recapturing. And then, so I just moved my knight out to g6, kind of like get in the way of the bishop here. Now the knight looks really, really stupid. And he takes the pawn because, he doesn't know what else to do. So why not open up the position when you are down a queen? Makes sense. So I take back with the bishop, and I take another free pawn in the center of the board. We trade knights. I hit his bishop. He lets me take it. He plays h3. What a move. What a brilliant move. Magnus Carlsen is quaking in his boots at the move h3. I take the bishop because I'm up a queen, so I want to simplify. If you don't know that concept in chess, if you are up material, you see down here, there's that +7 by my name. That means I have 7 points of material more. I have 7 more points of material than my opponent. And that is because, well, I have an extra queen for a knight. And counting pawns, it looks like I actually have a couple of pawns as well. Or 1 extra pawn. Yeah, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 1 more pawn. And then he's got an extra knight against my queen because the bishop these minor pieces cancel out. But anyway, enough about that. I want to trade down material so that by the time all the pieces are traded off, I'm just going to have an extra queen against nothing, and it's going to be a lot easier to win. So I just take the bishop, and now the white pieces are arranged in such a way where these three have not moved at all the entire game, and this rook, which is the only other piece white has moved 4 times. Well, the king move was castling, but the rook came over to f1. Then the rook captured back after I took the queen on d1, and then had to go to d3 to recapture the bishop. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3 moves. I said 4. It's 3. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I castle, and then rook g3. Trying to be sneaky, trying to set up some bishop h6 with the pin on my king, trying to win my rook. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. First of all, I just moved my king out of the way because I'm like, no, that's cute, but no, get out of here. Second of all, even if I played something like queen c7 and he did go for this bishop h6, you know, I can't take because I'm pinned. This doesn't work. Not only can I just like push and give up the material because of how much I have, but did you notice that I can actually just take this rook and you can't take back? If this happened, then white would have been trying to like use the pin against me, and I just go Uno reverse right back at you. You can't capture back because you're pinned. Oh man. But even if that wasn't a thing, and he could take back, then this would still be fine because then I can take the bishop here and then I would just be up a rook. But anyway, let's get into what actually happened. The rook goes over to g3, I slide my king back to h8, and then the knight goes to d2, entirely blocking the bishop. Good job. So the queen goes out to b6. Now, this bishop literally has no squares, but if it did, it wouldn't be able to leave because I would take this pawn. Not that I care about pawns at this point, I'm pretty much just going for the king. So that's why white plays rook to f3 to defend the f2 pawn. And so I just start pushing in the center. I think I have the material. I have pawns in the center. So let me push my pawns in the center. Great plan. The knight jumps out here. I don't really care. If I trade pieces, I'm quite happy. So I just start pushing. I'm like, let me get a passed pawn in the center of the board. And I don't know why I didn't take with the pawn to get that passed pawn that I'm talking about. That was the whole idea. I take with the bishop just because I'm like, no, my bishop sees stuff. I guess it kind of locks the rook down to the pawn, but, you know, whatever. I was kind of hoping he would do this, but he didn't. So the bishop goes out to g5. You know, developing, I guess. Developing the bishop on move 20. Sounds about right. So I push. Now the rook only has 1 square. 2, actually, sorry. Here and here, 3. Yeah. Ignore my counting skills. It's still early in the morning and I'm waking up. So if this video is boring to you, then my apologies. But I'm just kind of existing and explaining chess to you guys. And hopefully some people vibe with that. I don't know. So we have the rook moving over to f4 and then f5, throwing the pawn, defending all of this, and just opening up my rook a little bit. So now I drop the bishop back. It was being hit by a couple of pieces here. I hit the rook. Now this is what I meant. The rook only has 1 square, and that is h4. And so I push h6, looking to kick the bishop out and then play g5 and try and, you know, trap the rook pretty soon here. But the bishop goes to e7, attacking my rook. Oh no, not my rook. So I move my rook over to e8. And just kick the bishop to another square. He hits my queen, whatever, I just move. And now I'm still staring at the king. And I'm trying to get some attack going, right? So the king slides over to f1, ready to run, ready to book it. And I just play queen g5, hitting the rook. So he defends the rook. But now here's the thing. Yes, in chess, if you're up material, you want to simplify. That could mean trading pieces of equal value. But if you're up enough material like this, then you can sacrifice some material back to alter the position in a way that is advantageous to you. So that's what I do here. I sacrifice my bishop for a couple of pawns, and now the king is just wide open. And I've got 2 passed pawns, and this is going to be a lot easier than when the position was all clogged up like this. So I open it all up, and now he plays rook h5, which, you know, It was already, you know, minus 15, 16. Now it's minus 20, you know. Just queen f3 here. Queen f3 is a double fork. Or a triple fork. I'm not sure what you would call this. It forks the king and both of the rooks at the same time. That's crazy. And the thing is, he goes here and not even here. Because if he went to d1, then yeah, I could start like pushing here, but I would probably just take this take this rook, and I only get one rook. But instead he runs the king the other way, allowing me to take the d1 rook with check. And now after the king moves again, I get to take the other rook. So it's just all of his pieces falling off the board. And so at this point, he had a minute left on the clock, 53 seconds, and I take the rook, and he just lost on time. He just let his clock run out. I did report him for, you know, stalling / quitting games. Every time someone like quits like that and just lets their clock run out with this much time, I always report them. And I think you should too, because people should, you know, respect your opponents and the game enough to actually resign and not just run the clock out for a minute. But that's my little spiel. Anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, I would like to thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.